Hey everyone, it's Tony Chris. Last year, around February, I redid my office. And now, for those of you that don't know what I do for a living, I'm an entertainer, I'm a magician and musician, but I have a passion for Victorian steampunk. So I redid my entire office in Victorian science fiction steampunk attire, as you will see. So let's have a look, shall we? I've added some new things in. All right, so there's the door. Let's see if anyone's home. Well, that's crazy. Of course I am. Let's open up the door. And I'm just going to walk in. But we'll have a look from the door. So here we are. I am now in my steampunk office. There's the red door we just came through. All right, I'll take you from a corner to corner kind of point of view. So I've done some bookshelves that are built in, and here's the one I just finished actually. I had two, now I have four. The entire office is done in a Victorian red, as you can see, and it is finished in oak wood. So all the molding, paneling, flooring, everything's oak style, and stained with a Spanish oak, so it has that really kind of interesting dark Spanish oak feel. So let's start from here. Here's some of my odds and ends. Like those, some of my prized possessions, including my Mandrake the Magician comic book. Loved that as a kid. And some of my, I've been fortunate to win lots of awards and trophies, so I'm blessed to do that. That helps me out in my career. Oh, actually, here's the ceiling. It's even red too. What's behind curtain number one? Well, we'll never find out. That one's going to have to remain a mystery. Sorry, everyone. Here is my curios. Shelving of curiosities. I've got a bit of a card collection going. I know it's not a lot, but I just started. And let's have a look here. Now, for a lot of you that don't know me, I'm kind of well known in the bizarre magic scene in the world. So I've been fortunate to sell a lot of products to bizarre magicians all over the world. And bizarre magic is just a form of magic, but it's very different. And believe it or not, this was a gift from one of my many fans that I'm very grateful for. It was at one point roadkill, which was quickly turned into this lovely little skull. It is some form of a wild boar, I believe. And from one of my fans in, I think, Arizona, we'll call him Jesse James, because that's actually his real name. I got a nice little voodoo pendant. And this is my headspace. I have shrunken heads, crystal skulls, and different kind of curios that have been given to me by fans. And I use them all in my bizarre magic. Here's one of my favorite boxes given to me by my good friend Tim Weissman. I use that to this day. There's some voodoo dolls in there that I use. Oh, and of course, here we have the monkey's paw. Be very careful what you wish for. And some very nice Victorian spirit bells. These are very cool. They're used to channel the dead. An old picture of Bess Houdini, of course, the wife of Harry Houdini. Some more spirit bells. I call this Vampire Alley because I have all my vampire magic here. And there is an actual vampire stake, and believe it or not, it still will cast a vapor of smoke when it's near a real vampire. Sounds crazy, I know. Now, I've been doing some interesting art deco with my steampunk. So I made a steampunk hat holder, and this is done with a lot of tubing and elbows and T-joints that are all done from the plumbing aisles in Home Depot. So if you don't want to travel back in time 200 years to actually find a real steampunk hat holder, you can make them. And I've taken the liberty to use all the brass pieces and everything. Here's one of my coachman's hats. That's what a coachman would wear, or a steampunker. Here's my newest steampunk hat that I just purchased, and I love it. And I'll try to get a close-up of the new steampunk goggles that I just got. Love those too. Love them. Some art, I should say, that I put together. I made this poster by it's basically a conglomeration of many different vintage magicians posters that I've pieced together on a computer program and then printed it out on a large format poster. I'm really pleased with that. But this is the pride and joy right here. A fully functioning, working steampunk office. Everything you see here is done to period. We have the vintage aviator leather type, the chairs, but my pride and joy, here we go. A fully functioning steampunk computer that I have made. And of course you gotta have that steampunk mouse too. But here we go, even the screensaver, I gotta dig it. This is a fully functioning, accurate steampunk clock. Can't hear it, but it does keep perfect time. And if I turn on the speakers here, you can actually hear it too. And it'll gong and chime right on the hour. But we'll turn that off right now, just because. All right. Can't have an office without a working steampunk vintage Parisian phone. Circa 1790, I think. Maybe, no, I got that wrong. Steampunk speakers, gotta have that. There's my aviator toy. I like to fly biplanes and triplanes on my flight simulator on my computer, and it ended up looking like the decor of the rest of my office, as you can see. I'll just show you what I've done here though. This is kind of cool. That's a normal speaker, but of course you can't have that in the Steampunk Office, so you have to fabricate something that's more period, which I have now done. What have we got here? I'm a magician. I must have steampunk cards. So there you go. There's always a trick or two waiting for everyone. Back to the keyboard. Here we go. Even the steampunk mouse pad. I fabricated all of this stuff and made my, I just touched my mouse so my screen's back on, but as you can see, a steampunk mouse, little working gears. That's in there. Steampunk card holder. Hey, there I am. Hey, you can actually contact me if you want. Got my globe. Sometimes I just like to sit here and spin that. Put my finger on a place I want to travel to. Last time was Africa. Here's some more steampunk art. I just recently fabricated this really cool steampunk lamp. Again, made from scratch. It took me about 2 days on the build, and I just love it. I'm using these vintage Edison watt bulbs. You can buy them at Home Depot. They're replica bulbs, and they give out a really cool glow. But as you can see, everything has been manufactured to look really cool for me. So I made it from scratch. I'm very proud of this. It's a brand new lamp. And of course you got to have your gears and dials and everything else that goes with that steampunk lamp. And the base. You know, it's a little dark in here. My whole office is basically a red hue. It's very indicative of what would have been the lighting in the Victorian era. If I was to emulate it with candles, this is about the orange glow I would have. And I do have some candles in here as well, but we don't have them on because I have this lovely lamp instead, and I just love it. There are numerous DVDs of my trade, so basically a lot of magic DVDs from around the world. I've even got about 10 or 12 of my volumes on here that I've released over the years. Let's see if you can see them. Yeah, there's some. My Tony Chris stuff. Yeah, that's only a fraction of what I've released, but hey, ran out of space. Some very talented artists are up here, and my books. Got to keep up with that, or else I lose my hold on what's really magical and what's not. Oh, curtain number 2. Let's have a look. Oh wait, I can't show you what's behind that curtain. There's nothing to see here. Nothing. Let's just move on. Oh dear, I've dated myself. Look at this. Now I've dated myself. VHS cassettes, instructional magic cassettes from the VHS area. My God, 45 years I've been on this plane. All right, got a little more art. No Steampunk Office is complete without a antique vintage world map. So, as you can see, that's what they thought the accuracy was way back then. I know you can't see much, but that's the way it is. My father-in-law helped me build my office, actually. He's a very talented woodworker slash jack of all trades, really. Got to have a steampunk ship. And so we actually made this entire office from scratch, no blueprints, including this working fireplace, which is, of course, electric. But the mantle is what I'm most proud of, just because it took forever to make. It took us a long time because we didn't know what we were doing in the beginning. And of course that is electronic, so it serves two purposes. It really does function as a heater, and of course the flame is kind of cool too. There are many nights where I just sit here and contemplate what I'm going to do with my world, and a lot of that has to do with this lovely radiant heat, just because it puts me in a really nice happy mood. Let's turn that off, shall we? We'll leave the fire going though, just because. And that brings us up to here. A couple more awards that I'm very proud of. My Mandrake Award that I just won this month for outstanding showmanship from the Society of American Magicians. A couple more there as well. And I think that brings us full circle. Oh, there's those electronic candles. Sometimes I just light those and sit in my office. It's really cool, actually. And that's about it. So, let's see, I'm just going to flip the screen here a little bit because I want to say goodbye to you guys all. Just have a seat in my office. And that's pretty much it. So, I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of the Tony Chris Steampunk Magic Office. Feel free to leave any comments, and that's it. Have a happy Wednesday night, wherever you happen to be in this world.